And we're back. Got the jug boiling, so we'll make this short delivery and then probably make something with it. Out we go. A tight angle there. Oh, it's a nice little playground there.
Get ready to turn left. Turn left.
Something for the office workers on their lunch break, I guess. Stop just in the middle of the roundabout.
Take the first exit.
I hate it when you brake so suddenly that it decides to make you go backwards for some reason. It's very weird.
Keep right. Exit now. At the roundabout, take the third exit. Keep right. Exit now.
Okay, so pop over the border. Won't have to stop at least. Because EU. There is a toll booth. Where do I want to be on this one? Oh, these ones I can just drive straight through. Ah, much better. Portugal. Wonderful. Spain, I had to stop. Well, I had to slow down to 40. I didn't have to stop at least, but I did have to slow down and wait for a barrier. And this just drives straight through. Much better. It's more like the Scandinavian ones. Cortazadas de Lavra apparently has like services. Oh no, that'll be off to the left there, probably. Be the bit that goes off just after the next toll booth area on the map. Because the names tend to be kind of right aligned instead of centered on things.
Keep right, and then exit right. Exit right.
Whee! Around we go. Another toll booth. Oh, and that's the one you need to stop at? Or do you need to stop at both of them on this one? No, I don't see any barrier on this side. That truck just decided to slow down for some reason. Whatever. Okay, maybe I won't overtake. Fine. We'll be stuck in traffic. Psych, no we won't. Because now there's no barrier. Evora discovered.
At the roundabout, take the first exit. Exit now. At the roundabout, take the first exit. Exit now. Get ready to turn left. Turn left. Get ready to turn left. Turn left, and then turn right. Turn right. It's all over now.
There we go. Where do you need it? There. Okay, so after that second one, I'm guessing. Nailed it. Now we just need to straighten up a little bit. Just like that. So that one won't count for the total, but the next one will count as 2. $102 kilometers, so that's too short. I don't want to go back into Spain again. Come on, guys. So, 183 actually. Oh, that's from there instead. I mean, 183 is almost enough, but just not quite. Okay, so it seems this wasn't a good idea after all. That's a shame. From Evora, I would have to go up to Valladolid or A Coruna. 632, 702. Just really long deliveries, unfortunately. Maybe you can let it refresh a bit, maybe. Click around a few, see if it changes. Because we've been to Madrid. Yeah, so shortest one still is Valladolid. Just ages away. You know, what we're going to do, actually, is we're just going to go... Just going to hit... Well, where else is there to explore here on the world map? Nowhere, really. Okay. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to just go to drive, and then we're just going to go make myself another coffee, and we'll come back and we'll take a look again and see if it's decided to give us anything more useful.
Time to hit the road. Pedal to the metal, man. Turn left. Turn right. Get ready to turn right. Turn right. Recomputing. Please make a U-turn when possible. Never mind. I'll find a new route. When possible, make a U-turn. Turn left. At the roundabout, take the second exit. Exit now. At the roundabout, take the third exit. Exit now. Keep left.
we stay on the inside as much as we can, then we shave little bits off. Racing the train, not very effectively, but we'll just have to come back and tidy up some of those other little towns and stuff that we've been passing when we can go much faster. Would have been really nice if they'd just given me an Evora delivery to this northern part of Lisbon, because that would have been the 200, I think. Given that the place just along the road was going to a place in the north that was 183, like 17 kilometers difference, so close. I just wish they'd just get rid of the minimum distance required, or make it like 50 kilometers. Like, I can understand they just don't want people going and doing the really short intracity deliveries and have them count. But I mean, it would still only count as one, because it's still just the same city. It's a bit of a crapshoot as to which ones of those lanes actually have barriers and which don't, it seems. Just gonna go in the motorcycle lane, looks like. Big bridge. We're actually looking inland at this point, so that's a really big inlet or bay or something over there. And the other side is out of render distance, so because that's the ocean over there. Lisbon would be an interesting place, I think. Surprised there's not more traffic on the harbour bridge, to be honest. It's not very realistic. Friday lunchtime, there should be a lot more traffic. I do have it turned down in the options though. You don't want games being too realistic. Nice old viaduct. It's probably the railway, I'm guessing. Or it's an old aqueduct from Roman times otherwise. Yeah, actually it looks too thin to be functional. So it's probably just an ancient relic.
Keep left.
It's actually a question mark off to the left there. I wonder if that's a viewpoint or something. Do we go exploring? I mean, we may as well.
Keep left.
I feel it's unlikely that it would be just a service station or something. So we don't want this right, we'll take the next one.
Keep left.
And we'll frustrate our GPS again.
Rerouting. Keep right, and then exit right.
Yep, we're going to go left instead.
Exit right. Recomputing.
See what's down the end here.
Keep right.
Through the tunnel. Up here. Now, is it a viewpoint or is it a service station?
Take the fourth
It looks
exit.
like it's just going to be a truck dealer or something instead, to be honest.
Okay.
A recruitment
find a new
agency?
route.
Out this far? Let's just discover the rest area. Actually, should I use the rest area? 3 hours 18? Yeah, it looks like there's another one further up the road. Well, that's discovered anyway. Turned gold on the map, that's good enough for me. Getting stuck. So is this just a recruitment agency or something? Yeah. What the hell is it doing all the way out here?
I'll find a new route.
I was sure this was going to be a viewpoint instead.
Make a U-turn now.
Ah, god damn it. Getting stuck. Can I go around here?
Finding new route.
Yes. Ow. Well, now I need a service station.
Get ready to turn left. Turn left.
Okay, it seems that I can just drive straight through that cross in the middle of the roundabout. Why bother putting it there then? I was for sure thinking that I was going to suffer a huge amount of damage again. But nope. Just let me go straight through. It's like they put it there and then realized that, hang on, this angle cannot actually be traversed. And at that point it's like, well, just don't put it there.
Exit now.
Okay, well that was a bit of a waste. It'd be really nice if the viewpoints didn't show up as question marks. I don't understand why the recruitment agencies and truck dealers don't show up on your map anyway. So sure, you can't use them until you've discovered them, that's fair enough, but I should be able to see what they are. Like, you can tell usually from the map. You can certainly tell what truck dealers are because they have the services. And then you can tell the difference between a recruitment agency and a truck dealer because there is no services, but now that they have the landmarks there as question marks as well, you can't tell the difference between a recruitment agency and a landmark easily. Or a viewpoint.
Keep right.
And I just don't know why they
Then
just don't
exit
have the
right.
viewpoints grayed out but still the same icon.
Exit right. Keep left.
Unfortunately, they don't have like a easy submit feedback option within the game. I'm going to be locked out of my top gear, aren't I? Doesn't matter, I'm only going 90.
Keep left.
Now, what's up here? Now, if this is a truck dealer, because there's another question mark, then that's useful because then I can use their services.
At the roundabout, take the second exit. Okay.
Yes, it
Let's
is.
find a new route. At the roundabout, take the third exit. Rerouting.
How is that the third exit? Oh, it wanted to be go left. course. I'm just thinking about where I wanted to go. Oops. Scania dealer. Services, repair, thank you. It seems I can join the motorway after the toll booth. I don't know how that works. Oh no, it's sending me around the block. There isn't actually an on-ramp up here. That's right.
At the roundabout, take the second exit. Exit now.
Okay, back to the motorway.
At the roundabout, take the first exit.
Can I just cut the corner?
Exit now.
That was easy.
At the roundabout, take the first exit. Keep right. Exit now.
Okay, once again we need to just aim for one that doesn't have a barrier. And head north on what apparently is the only main road in Portugal for some reason. It seems strange they don't have even some back roads that connect things through. This is pretty much the only route that you can take.
Keep left.
Maybe the others just aren't suitable for trucks. Services up here.
Never mind. I'll find a new route.
Don't really need fuel, but it's here. May as well just fill up. People randomly at the picnic table with a thing of buns. oranges? I don't know. Who knows? You're gonna... There we go. Let me rest. Sleep. It's gonna be late at night, isn't it? That's really annoying. Sleep. I don't want to drive through the night. No. Still there talking about their oranges. Okay, so the road splits into a little bit up here at least. We will be staying left for now. Hopefully we get an excuse to go back to one of the others at some other stage. Nice blue sky today, not much clouds. Over the river. Once again, weave between lanes a little bit to try and stay on the inside. Shave off what seconds we can. Coimbra discovered. Once again, I am nowhere near the city, but it's decided to discover it for me. Seems to be very inconsistent on that. Sometimes, unless you go specifically into the city, even if you're driving directly through it, it won't count. And then you get these times where we're nowhere near the actual city itself, but apparently we've discovered it, so cool. Ride the shoulder for a bit. If it had only given me 200-kilometer journeys more consistently, I'd have been done by now, I think. We've got 3 more to go after this, I think. So I think we're at 15 out of 20. Where we're coming from and where we're going are both unique. Should take it to 17. One more session should do it. Booth. These left 2 seem to be clear of barriers. Bomb. Porto discovered, even though it is like 100 kilometers to the north. Cool.
Keep right.
Movie number 1 done, still going well, reasonably well. We've been having to take much longer journeys than we would have liked, but so what else is new? We're doing a 700 kilometer journey because there wasn't any good ones less than that, and all we want is 200, so oh well. But we get to see more of Portugal this way. We're just discovering cities even though we're nowhere near them, so that's always fun. We're like taking the bypass ring route, but it still lets us say that we've discovered it. We are going past Gaia though apparently, which is nice. So there's a turn off to Gaia. Ooh, there's a nice river view. Interesting that the town name is basically just Port. And I guess we know what's important to them. That big bridge over there. Big stadium up on the hill.
Keep left.
See any pretty sights? There's been a few. Including trucks changing lanes when they're not supposed to. So that's always fun. Haven't encountered any more viewpoints. There was one place that I thought was going to be, but it wasn't, which is disappointing. There's the big stadium. You'd think if anything was deserving of a viewpoint it would be something like that, or just the skyline in general. It's been nice scenery. Nothing special as such, but it'd be nice if there was more roads that went along the coast. But most of our deliveries have been taking us in through the centre of the peninsula instead, so
exit right.
Not really had much chance to see the sea. Oops, 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 oops. This is why I usually do first person instead. Oh, is that gonna cancel my delivery? Yes it is. Oh well. Just as well I didn't care about it too much. Yeah, this is why I usually go first person when I'm going off those off ramps instead. Let's do, put it back on this. Go off the service pad. Go back onto the service pad. And repair. So now we want to see what deliveries there are. That's annoying actually because that was going to count for 2. But to be fair, so will anything I take from here. I can go to the same place. That's fine. Yep, we'll go to the same place as we were going in the first place. Inside the cave good for driving, outside good for sightseeing? Yeah, pretty much. Oh, taking computer processes this time. It is a bit punitive that they make it that if you need to call for services that you have to have your current contract cancelled. Like that doesn't normally happen. When you're doing just a regular delivery rather than one of the external ones, that doesn't happen.
Turn right.
Like your trailer gets towed with you, so I don't know why they made it different. Because it makes it very punishing. You want the one right down the end here, looks like.
Come on, there's a job to do.
Okay, and for some reason it's leading me back down instead of being able to drive just directly north from here. So I think
Turn
I'm just going
left.
to try and ignore what it tells me to do. Because ideally I'd like to go up to the garage while I'm here. If I'm going to be in the city anyway, I may as well make the most of it.
At the roundabout, take the 4th exit.
Beep beep, coming through. Yeah, I'm not gonna take the 4th exit. I'm gonna take
Keep right.
this one.
Rerouting.
Nope, still not gonna take that one.
Okay, let's find a new route.
But there is a question mark over there. Probably just a recruitment agency though. So we don't care so much about that one. So I'm just going to take a quick look at the map and see. Second movie starting, fair enough. Enjoy. Yeah, it looks like a recruitment agency. That looks like it could be a viewpoint, so we might actually go there. Oh, that's why it's leading me back. You can't actually go through up here. How stupid. That is, yeah, just stupid, because I'm positive that in real life there would be a connection from this road back to that road. Okay then. Do I still go up to the garage at least? Maybe? That's a really awkward place to put anything. Oh. It's going to make it a bit of a longer journey, but that's fine.
Let's do this.
Get some sightseeing out of the way.
Keep left.
Yeah, I do question their decisions sometimes of where they put the roads. And just which bits they don't connect up. Big railway yard. Back to the external view.
Keep left.
Ah, it's the airport over there. And seaport too, looks like. Oh, we don't have cruise control on, of course, because calling for services like that I think resets it, does it? No, I just didn't press the button properly. Okay. Good to know.
Keep right, and then exit right. Exit right. Turn left.
Let's go by a garage.
Go straight.
Mr.
Get
Smarty,
ready to turn
you were on
left.
another stream, but the sec you joined, you stopped streaming? Ah, oops. Yeah, normally I would
Turn
be stopping
left.
about now, it must be said, so I'm going a bit longer. I kind of want to just finish this delivery off. Like this probably will be my last one, so... I think time zones and stuff, because of daylight savings changes, is probably screwed with things a bit. How do I get into the garage? Is it around the other side, is it? Okay, well we're just going to have to find some way of turning around here. At least you said ah, yes, thank you. Ah, here it is. Here's the garage. What a strange place for the garage entrance. Do I want to buy this garage? Yes. Yes, I do. I may never come back here, but at least I'll own it.
Finding new route.
Yeah, because we're now off daylight savings and a lot of the world goes on it, you basically get a net 2-hour swing in terms of time zone comparisons. so messes with schedules quite a bit in terms of people coming along and joining. I think over summer it's definitely most convenient.
Turn right.
Certainly more convenient for me watching streams from over the other side of the world, like from the UK or Europe. For America it doesn't matter too much for me, but it matters more for people in the US watching my streams, I think.
Make a U-turn when possible. Turn right. Get ready to turn right.
Donk.
Turn right.
Where's the general area where I live? I live in New Zealand. It is the general area. So a long way away from everywhere. It's the time zone difficulties. Because it's 12:30 just after lunch here. Well, haven't had lunch yet, but just after midday. You're Canadian, oh yeah, so yeah. It's the massive time zone difference. Generally I find that this time for streaming is better for North America, but it just depends on what other people are doing, because like it's the afternoon or evening the day before, I think.
Then exit right.
Like you add on like 4 or 5 hours or something, but then subtract a day.
Exit right.
Whereas over in like UK and Europe, it's midnight, early hours of the morning, so it's not very convenient, unfortunately. Whereas if I stream at... apparently I'm taking a shortcut, which I didn't even realise. If I stream kind of in my nighttime, then it's late morning, UK or Europe, which is slightly more convenient for them.
Rerouting.
So it's really weird. These roads are strange. Here's a viewpoint. Right, this is what I expected to see. Stop the engine and watch. Yes, I'm still waiting for an Oceania trucking simulator. That would be interesting. I don't think you'd really enjoy driving on most of our main roads, though. Our roads are not good for big trucks. I mean, they still have them, but yeah. Put it this way, we don't have one big motorway that goes between our main cities or anything. It's all back roads once you get out of the main areas. I mean, Australia too, though, yeah. They have the same problem sometimes. Between the real main centres, I think there's big routes, but yeah, it would be interesting. The problem with is Australia is just so huge. Like, to get between areas of any significance, you have to travel a long way. Like, they only have 6 or 7 main cities. Fewer if you count, like, big metropolises. And it's very long ways between each of them. Does a Canadian think it's funny your flags still have the Union Jack in it? We had a petition here a while ago, like a bunch of people wanted to change the flag to something different, but overall people don't care. Like, what difference does it make?
Make a U-turn now.
Yeah, flag's just a fancy logo on a piece of cloth at the end of the day. I mean, we're still part of the Commonwealth. I know you guys are as well, but you have your own flag, but yeah, we didn't see any reason to change it. Like, the amount of fuss and bother it is to actually go through and changing it, like, just having the referendums for it was a costly exercise. But at least it kind of put the question to bed for at least a little while. But also the designs that people came up with, like, they had submissions and there was 4 of them that we ended up going between. Like, you chose, there was 2 referendums. The first one we selected which one was the one that, out of 4 possible replacements, that people preferred the most. And then there was huge disagreement because that in itself was close, and so many people were really butthurt that their favourite design didn't win. They're like, oh, even if it changes, I'm still going to use this one. And to this day, there are still people who have alternative design flags that wasn't even the one that won for consideration of being a new flag, but they still have them. It's so stupid. It's like, yeah, it's very weird. So first there was that, and then it's like the one that was the preferred replacement went head to head against our current one in a separate referendum and lost. So, you know.
Keep left.
At the end of the day, if you're going to change it, it's got to be universal approval or like a real strong consensus for change. And they didn't have that.
Keep left.
Like, so many of them just had a silver fern on them. It's like, yeah, that's the All Black symbol, that's not a New Zealand symbol. It's actually not a good thing to represent the nation as a whole. Like, so many people just wanted to have a black flag with a silver fern on it, which is just the All Blacks logo as the flag. It's like, no, that's just stupid, I'm afraid. Then there were a few interesting ones that were more stylized. I favoured one that was more of a fern koru that had, I think, 4 different fronds, essentially, that were unfurling in the shape of the Southern Cross. That was a really good stylistic design, but it didn't even make it to the round of 4, I don't think.
Keep left.
I mean, 2 of the 4 that went up for consideration were just different colorations of the same design. One had red, the other had blue, both were half black, and both had just a silver fern down the middle. They were just boring. They ended up just being like company logos. Don't think Canadians had a choice to keep their old flag. It was new or nothing. Quite possibly. I don't know how it was done. It was done quite a long time ago. So it was probably just a case of someone in government at the time wanted to change it, so they decided that, oh, we're going to change it. So we were a bit more democratic about how to do it, but that just meant that status quo was always going to be the outcome for that way of doing it, unless it was like a really exciting design that really captured the hearts and minds of the majority, and that did not happen. I don't know what design would. And realistically, as I say, a flag is a flag is a flag. It's just, it works, it does the job. And it's not a bad one, it's, you know, nice colour. You got the stars on there. I mean, whether or not you like the Union Jack or what it stands for, it's like, well, it's a very defining part of the country in its history and today, so, you know, kind of deserves to be there. It's in the 60s when Canada got its independence, yeah. Well, we got our, like, functional independence about the same time, I think. It was all after the Second World War when the British Empire was basically, I mean, it became the Commonwealth of Nations instead, and ended up, everyone had their own autonomous governments. It's just the Queen's still head of state, instead of having a, like, president or something. I don't know, is Canada still part of the Commonwealth? I think they are. Is Queen still head of state? I can't remember if you have, because you just have a Prime Minister, I think, and not like a separate executive branch. Yeah, so that's the same as what we have as well. So it's independent to an extent. Like, it's autonomous government, but you'd still have a Governor General that has to just rubber stamp anything. But it's just such a figurehead, really. I mean, honestly, you could get rid of it and it wouldn't make any bit of difference whatsoever. for our case, it kind of makes sense to be part of something bigger, because if something was to happen geopolitically and the world was in turmoil, it's nice to have someone watching your back, because we are not a powerful nation. So, and I'd rather have closer ties to the UK than the US, still. So, whereas Australia's kind of gone more that direction, they're closer to the USA in many respects. They've also got much more of an American mindset. Like, they would have a hell of a job trying to change their flag, because they are very nationalistic about it. They're not quite as bad as Americans in flying flags everywhere, but it gets close in some parts of Australia. We're much more laid back about it over here. It's very rare that you see someone in private residence flying a flag at all. You're more likely to see it as being a flag from one of the Pacific Island nations. Yep, we're back into Spain again now. Oops, let's not flip the truck again. I mean, honestly, if they were just, if they were really objecting to having the Union Jack on the flag, or if we decide to become a full republic at some point and not be part of, like, not have the Queen as head of state, then the easiest design would be just expand the rest of the flag and not have the Union Jack in the corner. Just make it a blue field with a red Southern Cross. Simple. Like, don't need to overcomplicate it. That way everyone who currently has a flag would just be able to cut it down to size, basically. You don't see flags that often, but they're not rare, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I mean, you'll see them like in any state building anyway, but yeah, I imagine it's more likely in Canada that you might have a bit of regional or national pride, I guess. Especially if you want to distinguish yourself from America. Just remind people that no, you're north of the border now. Whereas over here, there's no question about where you are, because you had to take a bloody long flight to get here.
Keep left.
Don't live in Ottawa, so not the capital. Yeah, I mean, I don't live in the capital either, but you still see flags on like the High Court and various like government buildings. There's a massive one out near the airport. They should fly a massive one off the side of the Sky Tower. That would look hilarious. It'd be like a giant sail.
Keep left.
I think part of the problem now as well with the various designs that got submitted for consideration as a flag design is that a lot of them, they're a bit too busy, because it's just so easy now with digital design to just put a pretty, like, pack too much into an image, whereas a flag ideally should be something pretty simple. Otherwise it just feels a bit too much like a corporate logo, and that's just boring. Oh, that's a nice big harbour. Okay, which ones don't have barriers? Oh, we're back in Spain again, that's right, so we now have to slow down to 40 again, because they all have barriers. Much preferred the Portuguese toll booths. Some Canadian stereotypes are hilarious. do I have any, as in do I have any Canadian stereotypes, or do we have any New Zealand stereotypes? There's a lot of New Zealand stereotypes, I think. Kind of both. I mean, the only Canadian stereotype we have any awareness of really is the kind of whole A thing, which I've never found to be particularly true. Got some family friends who live in Ontario, and they don't even have much of an accent, let alone like stereotypical mannerisms. But I usually find that stereotypes that apply to nations in general, like, they're usually only representative of a very small amount of the population. They're just the ones that people notice the most, or I guess that they stand out the most, so they get some association with them. Like, there's the really stereotypical Kiwi accent thing, but that's mostly people who just live, I don't know, kind of West Aucklandish really, or just some of the regional areas. The further south you go, the thicker the accent gets, and it just becomes a mumble. But that's not really an international stereotype. No one outside of New Zealand really thinks of that. Like, even, you know, there's the stereotypical Australian accent that gets made fun of, and when we've been over there, it's generally not been that thick in most places. It's kind of, again, just kind of a small subset of the population that really takes it to extremes. And more rural areas. I think generally the less cosmopolitan a place, the stronger an accent becomes. Coruna. I've got to go all the way over the other side of the city, looks like. Let's keep reading it as Corona instead. Oh, now we've got a big, oh, that's closed apparently. Oh, I've got to go all the way out to the side instead. Okay, well, I guess we're trying to get a bit more angle on this again. Why have such a huge toll booth area and have like 3 lanes open? What is the point? I've seriously got like 12 lanes, and maybe 4 of them are open, and only 2 of them can take trucks. Okay. Biggest stereotype Canada has is coldness. Of only 300 k's of the water, it feels no different from USA, yeah. And yeah, a third of Canadians live only 300 k's. It's more than a third, I thought. Or maybe it's a slightly larger distance, maybe it's a third within 300 k's, but it's something like 90% of the population or more is within
keep left.
Maybe 500 kilometers, certainly. So what is it? I can't remember if it's Edmonton or Calgary that's the furthest north city, but there's really not much more beyond that.
Keep
just
right.
Small townships and stuff. I mean, it'll be generally colder there than most of the USA. It won't be that different from just over the border. Like, so Illinois and stuff will still get cold too, but, you know, compared to Florida, for example, it's not a very fair comparison, but it is still valid.
Go straight.
mean, the latitude of most of Canada, or the populous areas, it's got to be similar to like the southern Scandinavian areas, I'd have thought. So you're definitely going to have a lower average temperature. So I don't really think of that as a stereotype as such, that's more just fact. It's just a climate consideration. Like, I probably wouldn't travel there in winter, for example, because I'm not a fan of snow. So, certainly not the prospect of getting stuck in it.
Keep right, and then exit right.
The sad thing, though, is third biggest country has less
Exit
population
right.
than Tokyo. That's not sad, I think that's a good thing. I don't see that as a problem. I mean, considering that 80% of Canada or so is
Keep
like
left.
tundra, effectively. It's either wild pine wilderness or it's tundra. So it's not like it can support a desperately high population anyway. I don't know about you, but I'd much rather live in a city
At the
kind of
roundabout.
Toronto-sized than Tokyo-sized.
Keep right.
Like, it's more of a
Exit
sad
now.
thing that in Japan it's so densely populated. It's pure forest. It's not pure forest, not around Hudson Bay. And north of that, there's a lot of tundra area, because you get to the point that trees just won't grow. I mean, Canada extends all the way up into the Arctic Circle. There's plenty of places up there
At
that
the
it just
roundabout.
becomes
Take the second exit.
kind of a cold desert, essentially.
Exit now.
I've got to loop all the way back around to get to the depot. Okay.
At the roundabout, take the first exit.
It's inconvenient, but fine.
Exit now. Turn
And then
right.
we'll go and buy the garage, I think, after this as well.
Turn right.
This one. And this way. You don't make it easy to get around it inside your own depot, do you? There's barely enough room for the trailer. Bit of a rabbit warren. And
Here
at
we
what
are.
point
Kind of on
do I
time.
actually... Okay, there we go. I was going to say, at what point do I actually get the instructions of where to park this thing? Forest is another stereotype, is it? I'll take your word for it. In terms of countries that are mostly forest, I think more of Russia and Siberia. Because I don't know, it's probably just a fact because I know that Canada's, yeah, like half tundra, half farmland. Entire Great Britain, including Northern Ireland, could fit in the Hudson? Oh yeah, Hudson Bay's huge. Yeah, up to 17 out of 20 now. Cool. Well, we'll see where we get to go next time. We're up on the very corner now. Hopefully we'll be able to get some shorter journeys, maybe, possibly. There's lots of ones just within the same town, looks like. Interesting. And then, oh yeah, Gijon just along the coast. Okay, looks like this might be a bit more promising to get some deliveries that aren't so long. So that'll be good. Good to know.